What's up, YouTube? This is Chris with Extreme Fireworks, and today we've got 2 boxes of Fixin the Fire shells. Now, looking at them, they look identical, but in fact they are not. The box on the right is from the production year of 2014, while the box on the left is from the production year of 2016. You guys know how great these shells are. If you don't know, check out my prior video where I compare Fixin the Fire actually to some canister shells out there. And I want to say that these are some of the best ball shells that I have ever shut off in my entire lifetime. They are absolutely fantastic. So the question is, are the new shells, the 16s and the 17s, are they as good as the prior year of Fixin the Fires? Well, first thing we should do, I think, is to take a little test of these and let's weigh them out. Let's see if there's any difference here. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2014 shell right on the scale here. It weighs in right at 52 grams. Let's go ahead and weigh another one. We're going to get an average. That one's at 50 grams. And this shell right here is at 53 grams. So, roughly you're looking at about 51 grams, 52 grams per shell, right? So let's take a look at the new shells, the 2016s. Let's see what they weigh. Whoa, right at 42 grams, 44 grams, and 44 grams. So right off the bat, just by weighing these shells, we could tell that the newer shells, there's probably about roughly an 8-gram difference between the two. So what I'm going to do now is, unfortunately these aren't labeled for effect, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the foil off of these. I'm going to look at the construction of this shell, really to see if the construction has changed perhaps. You can tell that the foil is really tightly wrapped on these as opposed to the newer versions. I don't know if that means anything, but we're going to take a look. And this foil is a lot more difficult to get off than I anticipated. So we're going to go ahead and just fast forward this video. Now I don't know if you can see this or not, but unfortunately this foil is so, well, it's adhered so well to this shell, it's really difficult to get off. But you can see that the construction of the shell, of these shells, is actually different. Now this, I tried to squeeze this, and I can squeeze as hard as I can. It's impossible. This thing is not going to budge. It's just so well constructed. This one looks really different, and I could squeeze it. It's pretty rigid, but it does flex a little bit. So in addition to the lower comp weights of the shell, which I bet if we were to take this apart, I bet you'd see a difference in comp. That this seems to give a little bit. It's not as tightly wrapped as this older shell here. So I suspect that based upon what we see right here, that the older shell is definitely going to perform differently and probably better than the newer shell. Now, how do you know, if you walk into a resale store, how do you know if they've got the old stock or the new stock? And actually, it's quite simple. As you can see, the foil wrappers are actually different. There's a darker foil wrapper on the newer shells. But the way you can tell is on these older kits right here, you can see that all 6 shells are bundled together and they're actually wrapped in a very thick plastic, whereas the newer shell kits actually just kind of freely hang within the box itself. And they are obviously a little bit more spaced out. So if you see this plastic wrapping or covering over the shells, you know that's an older version and you want to snag those up. If you see that it doesn't have those, then unfortunately you have the newer versions, and which means you're going to have less comp in those versions. Anyways, hang tight. In just a few seconds, we're going to have these things going up in the air side by side. You guys can see for yourself. Are the new versions of Fixin' the Fire just as good as the old ones? Let's go find out. All right, ready for number 2?
Do you want me to stop it between?
No, it's okay.
All right, then let's keep going.
Fire in the hole. All right, last one of the set. Y'all ready for number 3? Fire in the hole.